Good evening, traders. This financial markets update is for October the 12th, 2010. The Fed had their meeting today. Markets were down early this morning, then they rebounded after the info came out at about 2 p.m. and markets finished slightly up today. NASDAQ being up the most, about 0.6%. Euro US dollar also finished up today, just about 0.25%. Today we have a lot of upgrades and downgrades. So I'm just going to let you guys pause the video if you want to read them. If not, I'll just show you guys the charts real quick since I'm really rushed on time right now. I have a lot going on and I wish I could spend a little more time, but I just don't have a lot of time right now. I'm going over the valuable information that you guys need. Anyways, these are the upgrades and downgrades. Tomorrow we have a big day on the earnings calendar. We have JP Morgan reporting. We also have Host Hotels, ASML Holding, and we have Apollo Group. So we have, and Apollo's the one that reports after hours. These other three are before. JP Morgan's going to be a good tell for the bank to see what exactly is going on the earnings and balance sheets. So we'll see. I mean, they traded good today, so there's a good chance that maybe some information had been leaked in. I didn't have a time to look at the calls or puts, but gold, as for gold, I just want to mention it went down a little bit today. Sunday night and Monday it actually traded up. It retested that 1356 and then it presumed down slightly, not majorly, but that could be assumed. I mean, the dollar did get a little bounce today until later on when the FOMC minutes came out, and then it presumed back down below the 77 79 level that it had opened at, and then we became short-term bearish once again. I don't know if this is going to hold with the dollar, but early this morning around 6 a.m. we hit a high of 78.17, and none of this, any rally that we get in this thing, it can't hold. So I could assume that unless we hold above the low that we put in right here on the 12th, then, or excuse me, on the 11th, then we could assume we're going to go down further. Looking tomorrow at the economic calendar, we have at 7 a.m. mortgage applications. At 8:30 we have export price in ag and import price in oil. And then at 10:30 crude inventories, and at 2 o'clock we have the Treasury budget. Financials, like I said, NASDAQ finished up today. Financials had a great day, and technology, they really showed leadership. A couple other things to note is the 3-year note auction proved to be weaker than they expected, and corn jumps again to a 2-year high. Also, a lot of other commodities across the board were up due to tight U.S. supply. Some other ones that were noteworthy that I'd like to mention, sugar. Sugar went up once again. I feel that I need to show you guys a sugar chart. Remember I called this, or let me retrace the fib retracements, but I had called this little sell-off. I wouldn't exactly call it that. They're buying the dips, but we called the short, although we don't trade sugar. You guys could have made some coin off that. But since then, they bought it up, and they slipped a little bit below the 21-day moving average. But ever since then, the volume had set back in, and I want to show you guys the little decline that we had. It was on decreasing volume, and then the next big day was increasing volume on this up day. So that shows you, and ever since then, we have above average volume. I mean, this rally is pretty strong, and you could contemplate and say we're going to run up and hit this 30, I believe it's 30.40 level, and that's the previous high from the year. Let me see the exact number for you. 30.40. Yep. So hopefully we'll get up there. I don't particularly like seeing higher commodity prices because, you know, the retail investors or retail consumers actually get affected from it, but I guess we could just make money off the trade. So we really need to hold above this level right here, and it's 26.23, and as long as we can hold above this level, We're going to look to keep buying it up, and looks like we have a lot of demand in these between 24.88 and 26.23 levels. Taking a look at the Dow now, we hit a high today of 11,053. Then we pulled back and closed at 11,020. It's still above the May flash crash high. Now we're going to take a look at the SPX, and the SPX finished marginally higher, about 4.5 points. And today we hit a high of 1172.58. Now that's just shy of the May post flash crash high, which is at 1173.57. So right now the NASDAQ is the last one that needs to catch up, which I'm about to show you. Alright, so NASDAQ is just one large push away from hitting this 24.34.29 post flash crash high. Today we finished up, like I said, 16 points. A lot of the tech stocks showed some demand because there was buying across the board in some of the top names. Cramer just came out. Another interesting fact, this guy really, what he says, people listen. He mentioned Cisco. I'm just going to pull up the Cisco chart real quick, because after he mentioned it, I want to show you guys what it did in after hours. Look at this. This is how strong Cramer's words are. It went from 22.67 to 22.99, and now it's holding at 22.87. So a 20-cent move just off Cramer's recommendation. This guy really is a trading guru, I guess, a talking head that people actually listen to. Now I'm going to look at the Russell. And the Russell is the one that's lagging, but I guarantee you if the S&P and the NASDAQ both push up through the May post flash crash high, the Russell will definitely be leading and should get to around the 715 level. Now it's good that the financials are moving up, and we'll pull up the Russell Riffin Index after this. So the Russell finished up slightly today, and things are still looking good as long as we hold above the 671.50 level. Alright, we're now looking at the Riffin on a daily chart, and I just want to show you guys, we had a really bad print. I don't know what exactly happened here, but it really shot down far, and this was on the 927. Ever since then, you know, the charts are pretty hard to pull up. But let me switch to a different candle. Now we're in an uptrend here, as you can see on the Riffin, and we're above the 50 and the 100-day moving average, and we actually even got to close above the 21 today. Our next stop is going to be the 200-day moving average, which is at 789.23. So if financials can prove to be strong, I think that we could get a move higher. Alright, now I'm taking a look at the semiconductor SOX index, and I saw that the calls were pretty active on the semiconductor ETF today, and it looks like it was a mirror image of what the markets did, because like I said, we were weak this morning, and then right above, when they got above the open at 351.72, they presumed up. If I was trading this, I would make this first move, I'd be in that, and then I'd come down and wait to buy on the dip. A lot of times they won't come all the way back down to where the opening line is. They'll put it up here around this 352 level and then presume up. But anytime they do, you have a great probability that it's going to go higher. And look what it did. It went up and it closed above our pivot at 354.73. So looking good on the SOX index. And the 200-day moving average is at 350.78, and it's still declining short term, but we did get a close above it today. So right now, if we could hold above the 200, it will show the bulls do have control, and we'll look for a move back up to the July high at 371.04. Looking at the copper futures right here, and I don't normally show these, but they're very, very strong right now. We got to close up about 0.4% today, a little shy of 0.5%, and it's just really presuming up. We have a ascending 10, 21, 50, 100, and 200, and as long as we hold, even if we got a minor pullback, which we did around the 7th, and the high that we put in on April 12th was 368, it looks like copper could go higher, potentially test the $4 round number. So very bullish on copper for the moment. Looking at crude oil right now, and crude pulled up to this, I believe it's the August high at 82.97, and then ever since then we presume down. And right now we're consolidating with a descending a descending 5-day moving average. I've been using that lately. It's been helping me catch the moves early. But when they couldn't hold it above this August high, that made me get a little speculative, and potentially we could presume back down to the 78.64 level, or at least to where this downtrend connects that we put in from the May high, around this 80 level. That looks realistic right there. Alright guys, so I'm looking at gold right here, the gold bullion futures. That's what I track, and like I said, we finished down slightly today. During the overnight hours, as you can see, we went up, we retested this 1356, which I pointed out, and then there was a little selling pressure. Now gold's seeping back up. What I told you guys was if we could hold the 1339 level, remember that's this red line right here, that I would potentially be bullish. Now our another short-term support level, which has become support, is 1342, and of course 1351. With a hold above 1351, the 50 stays ascending, and then we could presume up and break out of this 1356 level. I don't know, at 2:30 a.m. when the European markets open up, that could potentially push gold up to 1356. And these prices look pretty resilient to whatever news comes out. I mean, gold still seems strong to me. I know a lot of people write me comments about that you should be bearish. Look at this huge down move right here. I will get bearish if the levels change. Now if we hold above 1356 tomorrow and can break through it, like I said, and then pull back, I think we're going to presume up back to the high that we put in on Thursday. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree about this call, but like I said, when the levels change, I change. Looking at the VIX, and it continues to go lower. There's nothing right here that I could be bullish about the VIX. So tomorrow a trade in the VIX would be if we hold below 1469. Our next level will be 1398. Alright guys, I'm looking at platinum futures right here. I usually don't look at platinum, but it can't be ignored. We've had a huge run up, and this entire September rally has been substantial, and now we're holding above the 1654 level that we put in. It was the high back here in January. Looks like we put in a little short-term top, and maybe that's what a lot of the gold bears were seeing when they were saying that they were getting short right after that big down move we had. I know a lot of people said that they were buying puts. Maybe that's one of the reasons, I don't know, but if we could hold above 1354, I think this metal could possibly presume back up to the 1759.70 level that we put in April's high. Alright guys, that's it for me tonight. I hope you guys really enjoy this evening, and good luck trading tomorrow. If I have enough time later on when I get back from the gym, I'll put up another video showing you guys some of the stocks that I'm looking at for this week. Alright guys, before I go, I just wanted to show you Intel beat on earnings. They traded down to about the 1945 level, and then they shot up to 2027, and now they're holding at about 1995. Intel could presume if we get over the 1996 resistance level we have, look for a move to 2010 and then continue up to 2062.